Finally, we get through at the last episode of the Red Swan drama. Chairman Park, who was hiding in the hotel, was arrested by the prosecutor's office. She was arrested for embezzlement of Ha-Neul Foundation funds. Mr. Hwan asked her to calm down because it was just a process. Chairman Park rebelled and asked Mr. Hwan to act. But Mr. Hwan just kept quiet and let them arrest her. The news of the arrest of Chairman Park was also known to Wansu. And Wansu planned to meet Mr. Hwan to ask for an explanation. But Do-Yoon explained that the prosecutor's office would search the pavilion and they would find Mr. Hwan safe. As Do-Yoon predicted, the prosecutor's office came to search Mr. Hwan's pavilion. And at that time Lee Jin saw it with anxiety. They took the documents and also Mr. Hwan's safe. Do-Yoon saw Lee Jin with a pale face, then chased her. He entered Lee Jin's room and pointed a gun at her. He asked Lee Jin to surrender, but Lee Jin fought back and tried to run. While fighting, Do-Yoon saw the same wound as the person who stabbed Hwain-Soo. Then Do-Yoon didn't let her escape and fought her until she couldn't stand. Do-Yoon showed the USB when she attacked Hwain-Soo near the Han River. Finally, Lee Jin was arrested and she could only watch Mr. Hwan. Do-Yoon met Mr. Hwan, who was sitting relaxed. Do-Yoon asked why Mr. Hwan did all that. Is it because of money? Or for his son, Kim Yong-min? But Mr. Hwan was calm because Do-Yoon couldn't accuse just by suspicion. And Do-Yoon could be accused of defamation. But Do-Yoon asked him to wait. He would make sure that he would be punished. Hearing that, Mr. Hwan just smiled and would wait for him. Mr. Hwan was seen digging the ground in the garden area near the pavilion. It turned out that he took the gold bar that Yong-min used to kill Chairman Kim. Then Mr. Hwan met Chairman Park in the interrogation room. Chairman Park already knew that it was all Mr. Hwan's doing. She was very angry because a lowly servant dared to do that to her. She knew that he was the one who tried to kill Wansu. Because Mr. Hwan knew that Ha-Neul Foundation would receive tactical funds from Switzerland. Chairman Park couldn't understand why Mr. Hwan did that to her. Even though he had a son with her. And Mr. Hwan replied that it was because of revenge. Because she didn't treat Mr. Hwan like a human being. He wanted to see what Chairman Park could do when giving birth to a servant's offspring. Then Mr. Hwan showed the gold bar containing Chairman Kim's blood. It turned out, keeping this gold bar can make Chairman Park be blamed for the Hyde murder. Of course, Chairman Park is very angry because it was Mr. Hwan's doing. Then Mr. Hwan said that the blood belonged to Chairman Kim and there were Yong-min's fingerprints on it. The killer of Chairman Park is her own son, Kim Yong-min. If it is handed over to the prosecutor's office, then Yong-min will be charged with the murder of his father. So, Mr. Hwan will keep the evidence deep. Therefore, Chairman Park must be blamed for hiring someone to kill Wansu. Then Hwain will not be down because her son will not be charged. Or Chairman Park wants the world to know that she has a son, out of wedlock, with her servant lawyer. Then the son killed her own husband. Is Chairman Park okay with that? Mr. Hwan cruelly pits his own son against his mother. So that Chairman Park will bear all the crimes he committed. All of that was driven by his insatiable greed. Jonguk shows his safe to Tira. Everything in the safe is legal and worth 100 billion won. He gave all of that to Tira because he will pursue his love with Wansu. Although Wansu's heart is not for him, he doesn't mind because he loves Wansu. Yong-min is asked by his wife to sign the divorce papers. But Yeon-min doesn't want to entease up the divorce papers. Then he gets in a car at speed and arrives at the main palace. He asks Mrs. Byol to invite all the staff out of the main palace. They all obey him because Yeon-min is very emotional. Mr. Hon, who sees them, is curious about what happened. Then he calls Mrs. Byol and she replied that Yeon-min told all the staff to get out of the house. Mr. Hon was shocked and he rushed to find Yeon-min. It turned out that Yeon-min took a rifle. At that time Wansu left the main palace. Jongak was shocked when Yeon-min pointed the rifle at him. When Wansu received a call from Do-Yoon, suddenly she heard gunshots from inside the house. It turned out that Yeon-min shot the wall and Mr. Hon immediately came to them. Yeon-min asked Jongak to transfer tactical funds to his account. Mr. Hon tried to calm his son down, but Yeon-min didn't want to. Jongak felt that his son and father were the same, small-time thieves. The thief who stole his fiancée and now wants his money. Hearing that, Mr. Hon became angry. Then, he asked for a rifle. That's because he himself will shoot Jongak. He was angry because Jongak treated his son like a servant. Then Jongak fought Mr. Hon and strangled his neck. He said that Mr. Hon only used his mother to improve his life. But now he's imprisoning her. And at that time Yeon-min shot Jongak. When Wansu came in, Yeon-min shot his brother again. Wansu screamed and approached her husband. Even though he was dying, Jongak was happy because Wansu called him honey. Then he said he loved Wansu. He was like a fool because he couldn't show that feeling. Wansu begged to hold on for a little longer. Her husband just wanted to look into her eyes a little longer. And after that he took his last breath. Wansu very sad and cried bitterly. And at a time like that Mr. Hon would actually accuse Wansu of being Jongak's killer. He asked Yeon-min to delete the CCTV footage and leave from there. Then he called the police station and reported the murder. After that he cleaned the fingerprints on the rifle. The police came and secured the crime scene. Wansu was shocked because she was accused of killing her own husband by Mr. Hon. And Do-Yoon was shocked by what happened in the main palace. Mr. Hon admitted to seeing the incident, that Wansu shot her husband. He almost failed to take the gun from her. And Wansu defended herself that it was all a lie. Then the police asked them both to come to the police station. Before that Do-Yoon asked Wansu not to worry, because everything would be fine. Wansu said that the one who shot Jongak was Yeon-min. Hearing that Do-Yoon will check the CCTV and ask Wansu not to worry. Do-Yoon invites Mrs. Byun to check all the CCTV. And it turns out that the CCTV has been reformatted and the system has been turned off. But Yeon-min's car is still in the parking lot, so it is likely that Yeon-min is still hiding in the main palace. Then Do-Yoon searched several rooms and finally found him hiding in the cupboard. Do-Yoon asked for a plastic bag because he had to secure the gunpowder in his hands. And the police took him to the police station. The police finished analyzing the results of the gunpowder test. That the test results from Wansu were negative, while Yeon-min's were positive. And the CCTV footage, after being restored from the format. When the sound of gunfire from inside the main palace was heard while Wansu was outside. The fact that gunpowder tested positive for Yeon-min and also the CCTV footage evidence. Proving that Wansu was not at the scene when Jongak was shot. And at that time, it turned out that Chairman Park admitted to hiring her bodyguard, Lee Jin, to kill Wansu. Wansu then met her mother-in-law in prison. She knew her mother-in-law didn't do it. But she still had to apologize to everyone who suffered because of crossed the line. And after that she has to atone for all her actions. Don't bear Mr. Han's mistake, don't follow his request and realize it. Do-Yoon feels sure that Mr. Han is blackmailing Chairman Park to bear his mistake. But he doesn't know what the blackmail is about. What is clear is that it is significant enough for the chairman to agree. Then Do-Yoon remembers that he has a recording when Wansu gave the ledger to Mr. Han. If Chairman Park ordered Lee Jin, it is impossible for her to hand over the ledger that made her have to kill Wansu. She will incriminate herself. With that, they can prove that Mr. Han ordered Lee Jin. After that Do-Yoon meets Mr. Han, who has served as CEO at Hwain. Mr. Han brags about the position he has achieved now. But Do-Yoon will destroy him and swears in the name of his friend, Ju-Yuk, whom he killed sadistically, because that's how justice should be. But Mr. Han feels that he is the one who built Hwain to what it is today. He also still wants Ha-Neul Foundation. He asks, how much should he spend to pay for his love? If Wansu gives Ha-Neul Foundation, he will help them settle abroad. Do-Yoon just smiles, because his story is over. Mr. Han made a very big mistake by handing over the ledger to the prosecutor's office. There is a video recording of Wansu handing over the ledger to Mr. Han. If he doesn't hand over the ledger to the prosecutor's office, the fact that he ordered Lee Jin might be buried forever. And the prosecutor's office come to arrest Mr. Han for conspiring to murder Shin Ju-Yuk and Oh Wansu, as well as attempted proxy murder of Oh Wan-Soo. Do-Yoon submits a letter of resignation to Wansu, and he will return to work in the police, even though Wansu will stop him. Wansu doesn't know how to thank Do-Yoon for all his help. But thanks to Wansu, Do-Yoon can also avenge his friend's death. Wansu invites Do-Yoon to shake hands. And Do-Yoon hugs her tightly. He asks Wansu to always be happy. But Wansu just stays silent until Do-Yoon leaves her. Finally, Chairman Park free and Wansu picks her up. But Wansu thinks she hasn't paid for all her crimes. Then Chairman Park asks to be taken somewhere. It turns out she met her son, Yongmin, who is in prison. Yongmin feels regret over Jongak's death. And his mother thinks it's all destiny. She saw the gold bars. So don't trust Mr. Han. Because he's the one who made her a scapegoat. Let's forget the gold bars, as if it never existed. In prison, Yongmin invites Mr. Han to talk. In a quiet place, Yongmin strangles his father for using his son to blackmail. Because of his father, no one respected him all his life. How could he keep the gold bars all this time and hide them secretly? So don't call himself a father. Yongmin shouts die to his father. Then the police officer comes to calm Yongmin down. And his father just looks at his son sadly. Chairman Park attends a meeting at Hwain Company. She still remembers his son Jongak and also Mr. Han sitting in their chairs. They will vote to decide who will become the CEO of Hwain Bio Company. In addition, to carry out the will of the late Chairman Kim, the funds she collected for the succession of the company will be returned to the community through Ha-Neul Foundation. 1 year later, Wansu is at the airport and will go to Tanzania and 2 other countries for 15 days. The 18 trillion won donated to the foundation is used to create a better world. Wansu will do her best to enjoy her life to the fullest. And use the money to help and comfort those in need. Suddenly someone called Wansu and it turned out to be Do-Yoon. Wansu felt she didn't need a bodyguard anymore. But Do-Yoon was not there as a bodyguard, but to volunteer for Ha-Neul Foundation. Finally, the story of Wansu and CEO Do-Yoon ended with a happy ending. Thank you for watching Rate SWAN on my channel. And I will be back with another Korean drama recap.